Hello guys, welcome back. Today's video is highly requested foundation test again. It's from the brand called ZEEZEA. This is their silky long-lasting foundation. I checked out this brand and bought a few things from them. I used a couple of their products before but haven't really, touched face-based foundation. I used once, but I have thoughts in my mind that there are things I like, but there are things I'm a little bit iffy about. So today going to test out this one with you guys. First of all, as always, quickly to introduce my skin condition. I am combined oily skin, the oil area always being around T-zone and surround my nose. My skin color is light yellow tone, and the troubles are mainly big pores and spots, acne like this one. What I like to achieve as a result from foundations are minimize the pores, decent coverage, doesn't break or crease on my face, and also last decent time. From ZEEZEA, this foundation, what is claimed the main function is long lasting. Last time I used this with Makeup Forever, this new skin foundation. I'm sure you guys have seen this one as well. 80%, two of them are very, very similar from the texture, from the finish, from the level of oxidizing. Two of them are all a bit, I find two of them are very, very similar. But today I would like to compare this with Lancôme, this one, Ultra Wear, because this is well-known, long-lasting foundation in a high-end brand. Myself is also a little bit iffy about this, but I can see so many positive feedbacks about this foundation. So I'm going to test out this two today. I think this one has two types. One is more dewier finish, suitable for dry skin. This one, as you can tell from the packaging itself, it is more matte finish, suitable for combined oily skin or to oil skin. So let's find out. Let's have a look at the formulation. If you see the product itself, it is like very, very light cream. It is still, when you tilt it up, it still has like water drop, but it's not too like liquid compared with Lancôme, this one. Two of them are very, very similar. Lancôme is even more lighter compared to the ZEEZEA one. And let me just smudge it out as well. When you smudge it out, the texture, it is very similar like Lancôme one as well. Compared with the Makeup Forever one, I think the Makeup Forever is slightly more creamier compared to the ZEEZEA one. ZEEZEA one is very, very light. It's like you smudge out like light yogurt. Very silky, very smooth. Can you see the two color undertone? The Lancôme's one is more towards like pinkish undertone, and this is way much warmer. Both of them oxidize quite a bit, same as Makeup Forever one. All three of them at least oxidize quite a lot on my face. For ZEEZEA, this one, my color is LN02. It was described as suitable for warmer yellow undertone, but the lightest. By trying out the first time, it's still like half shade darker than my actual skin. So I think I should actually chosen a even lighter one, but hey. First time when I use ZEEZEA, this one, the biggest difference comparing with other foundations is once this one is blocked onto your face, it gets very sticky, and when it's kind of glued on your face, when I move my face muscle like doing something like this, you just feel all your skin is kind of sticked together, and while I was trying to blink my eyelid was like being glued and opened very slowly, which is very interesting. It is quite sticky. But the funny thing is, once you pat it with powder, that feeling gets reduced massively and will eventually disappear throughout the day. So after an hour or so, you don't actually feel anything. The first time when I used it, it does last a decent time, and today we're going to try out again. So look at my hand again. This side I smudge it out onto the hand skin, and look. Can you see how sticky it is? This side already been settled for a minute or so, and it's still very sticky, right? The first time I used the half with just the dry puff, oh my god, the stickiness is, yeah, it's a little bit irritating. But when I changed to damp the sponge, it actually improved. So it doesn't feel that glued on. But once it gets dry, your face does feel something, you very much feel there is a mask on it. So if you don't like that feeling, you may want to get a sample or something to try out first before you actually buy one. Right, that's zoom you guys in. Today I prepared the damp sponge as well. So for ZEEZEA, this one I highly recommend for damp sponge. Otherwise, so today I will use ZEEZEA on this side first, because I don't want this to impact its actual result. So if this side has any breaks or anything, you guys just ignore it. That's just to compare more on the normal skin. I am very surprised with the color, because considering the brand itself should light yellow tone, this is slightly like darker. Can you guys compare here to here? But once blended out, it doesn't look too bad. It gets oxidized quite a bit, but will stop it after like half an hour or so. Once it gets oxidized, it makes my face looks more towards yellowy. You know, some foundation like Lancôme, this one, which you guys will also see, once it gets oxidized, more towards pink, but this is more towards yellowy. When you use a damp sponge, it's easier to spread it out and apply in the foundation. When you apply it, you don't feel that sticky. So what I've learned from this foundation is you better build it up. So when you apply for the first time, to get as thin a layer as possible, and only build up into the area that you need more coverage. If you light hand it, light sheer can give you about 30 to 40% coverage. As you can tell, those spot marks are still like the redness over here, you can still straight away tell. But in comparison, both sides, here, this half is definitely evened out the skin tone. Add a little bit more. But you can tell how much is oxidized as well. Can you guys see on the hand? Yeah. So I would suggest that if you are lighter skin tone, do bear the colors in mind. The best way is still to try out. If you can get samples or try out at the shop, is perfect. If not, probably try to get half shade lighter than your usual foundation shade. I would suggest that. This one I thought would match mine, but clearly I should actually go for one shade lighter, as it's oxidized as well, so it will eventually balance it out. But this one, once it gets oxidized, it gets, yeah, more than half shade darker than my own skin tone. Luckily I'm testing it out during summertime, so if winter time my skin color will be even lighter. I don't know whether you guys can tell this patch, right? Because I layered on second time. I can see from the mirror that this side I can clearly see a color patch. It's like 15% darker than the rest of it. It's quite yellowy. Yeah, not so much showing on the camera. The finish itself, I quite like it. It still gives you a beautiful glow. It's not too much, but certainly you can see the reflection. And looking at the minimize the pores. You know, guys, for the pores in particularly, you are not expecting this to be make it completely disappearing, but at least the should kind of fill up the pores, visually smoothen it out. It definitely helped if you compare this two. The finish is quite good. If you use a slightly drier puff, the coverage can go up to 50%, even just on the first layer. Then you can actually build up to 70% around. Okay, now it's set a little bit. Look at my eyelid, yeah? Look at this too. I'm going to blink and I would like you guys to see the difference. Can you see this? My double eyelid seems like being glued together. So that's the bit I'm not quite sure, but for the rest of it, it is actually quite nice. Give you a, can you see? It doesn't absorb too much glow from your face. If this one is less sticky, would be very nice for normal or even towards dry skin. This one doesn't soak up the moisture from your skin. That's the nice thing about it. Because it's so sticky, so you have to set it. But you still want to remain the glow, will be a little bit hard. Okay, as this color is slightly different, so I'm going to mix the Lancôme's one, P001, with P003, just to make the both sides looks better, not like half darker, half lighter. When you smudge out those two foundation, the feel, the texture is very similar. I'm going to use the same sponge but different side. Oh God, I didn't see the nose bit. It's horrible already. See. Can you see how patchy it is got on the nose? Oh my God. It looks horrible. Oh my God. I can't fix it. It's pretty much set. Just realized, sorry guys, I didn't plug my microphone in, but now I do. Just have a look at this side. How patchy it is, but I can't change it, so see, it's fully glued on. But this is a Lancôme side. It's way much better compared to this side. Okay, now I finished both sides. This side is Lancôme. This side is ZEEZEA. From glow's perspective, I think ZEEZEA side has slightly better glow, but when I do this, I feel here, especially like you had a tape or something on, just very much stretches your skin. And yeah, this side I don't feel anything. I don't really feel there is foundation on, but this side is, you very much can tell. It's literally like you use a glue stick and had a stripe on your face. That's how you feel. That's something I'm not sure. And besides, what we've learned from this is because it does jammed in, lock on your skin quite good from that perspective. So when you pat it out, do make sure you check each area quickly enough. So once it's dried completely, you can't even correct it. So yeah. From the pore minimizing, I think both sides the same. Coverage, I find both sides similar as well. And it's also similar coverage compared to the Makeup Forever Skin Foundation. So 3 of them are very similar actually. Then look at the under eye. Both are quite good. There is nothing sink into the lines. There is no creases. I can imagine that for the ZEEZEA side, if there are creases, that you wouldn't even be able to correct it. Oh, I'm very unhappy with the nose thing. I set with powder. Oh, this ZEEZEA side, once my eyelid set with powder, now I can blink normally. Doesn't feel anything now. The ZEEZEA side, you definitely need to set it. Otherwise, you don't feel comfortable to have this like a glue feeling whole day. Just to remind everyone that I am combined oily skin, okay? Hence, most of the foundations I've chosen and the foundations I'm choosing to compare with are more suitable for oily or combined oily skin. So if you are especially dry skin, you may need to take the information as opposite help. Pick and choose the information you feel that would help you. Okay, let me feel. There is no stickiness. Okay, no stickiness now. Let me get the time. Now it is 12:30. Again, today try to do minimum 8 hours. Oil checking again in about 3-4 hours. Don't switch off, keep on watching. It is now nearly 4:30, 4:27, so it's almost 4 hours. And I've seen few things happen, but first of all, looking at the entire face, overall capped okay. I think 80% things are still there. And just remember, this side is Lancôme, this side is ZEEZEA. Looking at the pores, both sides still remain similar, but for this side, if you guys look closely, ZEEZEA side, I start getting like small white lumps dotted over here. Lancôme side remained okay. And for nose side, this side still remained as patchy as earlier on. But other than that, it just T-zone has a bit of oil under the eye over here. Lancôme side seems has slightly more oil, face oil, compared to the ZEEZEA side. But I just see the monitor doesn't actually really reflect from the camera. But when you look at me in person, the ZEEZEA side has gone even, not darker, but has gone a little bit more yellowy. When you look at me in person, I think now the camera still catch the front lights better, but when I look at the mirror, like this side, this half face looks more towards tan, that type of color. So it means it has continuously getting oxidized. On the face side, if you're looking at this side, ZEEZEA still okay. But the Lancôme, this side, I don't know whether you guys can see, it's a little bit like a white dot here. Oh, do you see my fingerprint over here? That's the face oil, basically. So 4 hours on, both foundations has a little bit of breaking. So ZEEZEA side is more around here, and the Lancôme side, I think it's because of the face oil has melting off the foundation a little bit. It's just over here a little bit. But other than that, the rest of face, both foundations remains okay. So see you in another 4 hours. It is now 8:45. So just over 8 hours. I fell asleep on the sofa I think I'm a little bit too tired this few days, but and not overly impact the makeup itself, but just on the side, it may have, you know, a little bit smudge it off. But other than that, this side is Lancôme and this side is ZEEZEA. First of all, from both sides, especially over here, like my pores just very much waiting to come out. And I have to say ZEEZEA side over here, it is actually more obvious compared to Lancôme side. And the T-zone side is just fairly oily already, like quite oily already, but it still remained okay. Over here, ZEEZEA, this part is pretty much gone, to be honest. So I have to say that after dinner I did wipe my mouth a few times, but other than that, over here there isn't much foundation left. could be me that used the tissue too much. This side has the same challenges that you can see, like the dark stripe over here. It means that the coverage has very much reduced. Side of the face, Lancôme side seems this side is okay, and the ZEEZEA this side is okay as well. The side of the nose, Lancôme one remain the same. This side is still very much like being smudged in the right beginning, but maintained as it is. Let me grab a tissue. Let's use the tissue to see when you press it on. See, I squeeze quite a bit. Both sides is not too bad. You can see the tissue is only on the nose bridge side, which you see both sides has the face oil coming out, but when you touch the side of the face, there is no mark on the tissue, which also means when you wear masks, is very good, very friendly for mask wearing. And the top. Yeah, the same is only face oil being absorbed out. But the foundation, both sides, remained okay. So in summary, I think ZEEZEA, this foundation, in my heart, if to give a score out of 100, I give 70. The reason being that I still feel it can be better, because in the same price range, there are better choices than ZEEZEA, at least on my skin. The finish, I really like it. The product itself, it is very, very fine. When you apply on the face, you don't feel powdery at all. For minimize the pores, and for those points, they are very similar like Lancôme, considering Lancôme is high-end. And the price range, these two are different. The Lancôme is way much higher. ZEEZEA is much cheaper. However, personally, I feel, first of all, it does oxidize quite a lot, especially during the day. I think on my first try on, it didn't oxidize as bad as today did. Now it's because of the evening lighting. I don't think you guys see that much difference, but when I look into the mirror myself, my face is literally looks, this side in particularly, when I tilt my face, looks very tan in a way. And secondly is the texture. Once you finish, once it's been glued on, it's pretty much locked on your skin, and you do feel like you applied glue. That's how sticky and how pulling, gripping on your face. You pretty much feel there is something on your face. It got better after you applying powders, but as today the mistake I made, you do need to make sure apply area by area and make sure you blend it out properly before you move on to the next area. Otherwise, if you didn't smudge out properly, it will just actually glue there, and you may have to remove and reapply it. For the lasting part, for 8 hours, the performance like this is very similar like Lancôme, this one. So for the lasting, it is okay, but it's not as is described, like, you know, close to 24-hour long lasting is not. But for the price itself, 70 out of 100, I don't think it's a bad score. So, have you tried this foundation yet? If you did, please do let me know how it was performed on your skin, and then we can share some experience. Okay, I need to go and get a shower, put my little one in bed. I will see you on my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.